Okay, now I'm going to be talking about how to add your router to the system for monitoring. Now here I'm going to be using a Tenda router. Now first of all, go to your network settings of your PC and ensure if the DHCP server is already disabled on that router. Just go and make sure that just go and manually assign an IP to your PC that falls within the subnet of the router. Now for the Tenda, it is under the 192.168.0.1 subnet. So we'll assign our PC at 10, and the subnet mask, just enter 255.255.255.0 and then save. Then go to your browser and load it up for initial configuration. Okay. Set your Wi-Fi name. Okay, let's set it now so that we can disable it later. Okay. So once you are within the router and once you've logged in, just go now for hotspot people. Just make sure you disable DHCP security on the Wi-Fi. Then you need to look for the DHCP server settings, DHCP server or LAN settings within the router. Now for Tenda routers is under the administration menu, but within other routers it might be under DHCP server settings or LAN settings. It's usually there. Then you look for something like a LAN IP or something like a DHCP server IP. It is usually there, and it is usually an input field that you can change. So for this router, I'm just going to give it a 10.71.0.2 since it is my first router within the chain, and then ensure to disable DHCP server. But if you disable DHCP server and it still requires you to enter a start IP and an end IP, as I said before, now here it has given me the option to edit, so you can enter. If it doesn't automatically change to your network ID, this first three sets, just manually get this, copy it, paste it, and then on the 2 just increment by 1, so it starts with 3, and then here just put 254 like that and leave it. But in this case I'm going to disable the DHCP server as it's a hotspot router. So just disable and then click OK. But another thing before I save is for those that are using PoE, when you are setting, you don't actually need to set up these LAN settings, as you get the IP that is assigned by the MikroTik from within the MikroTik settings configurations. But when you are configuring, make sure that you allow remote management within the router. You enable that option so that you can remotely access your router from the internet. So here in Tenda it is simplified. You can just enable remote management and then tick it, enable, leave it at anyone, port number, don't change it, and then click save. Okay, now as that is saving, you can go to, if you have internet, you can go to the Tickman system and then go to network mapping in order to register your AP device. So here, make sure that you've already added your MikroTik. This is test MikroTik. Now add an AP device. So this one, let's call it tender 1, and we've given it an IP of 110.71.0.2. This Ether port is the port on which the physical link, the physical cable that is connecting this router in the network to the MikroTik has been inserted. Now, if it is in a chain, which port on the MikroTik has been used to supply internet to that chain? So if it is Ether 1, if it is Ether 2, Ether 3, Ether 4, or Ether 5, and so on, you just enter it. If it is SFP, also enter SFP 1 interface. You look at the MikroTik, then you enter. So this one you can say Ether 2. And then here, now for guys that are using Tickman, you don't need to set the running interface. But if you are not using Tickman, then you need to configure this. Also, actually, before you even add your AP device, make sure you've set up hotspot and PPOE on your MikroTik. So here, configure device, then enable hotspot and PPOE, and save changes. Wait for a bit. Okay, now it's done configuring, so we can go back to network mapping as the interfaces have been set up. So select your MikroTik and then select add your AP device. Now here we call it tender 1, and then the IP address that we set up within the router. Then Ether port, leave it as is. Now for the running interface, if you are not on Tickman, you need to enter this, and how to get it, just go to your, open your Winbox, and log in. Okay, so once you are logged in, just go to your look for bridge settings that were set up by your system or manually by you. Now look for the bridge or the interface that is managing your router. So here in our interface, ours is called Tickman Bridge, Tickman Backend. So you can just click on that, copy it, and then place that name under the running interface, and then click save. But if you are under Tickman, then you don't need to enter that. You can just skip this, as it will be automatically detected and assigned. So you can just wait for the system to detect the router. So once it's done registering the router, and you finish adding it to the system, just click on this button here, this cylindrical button, add tunnel. Then it will bring you to this page where you enter the target IP, which is already preset for that router. Leave the rest on default, and then here the protocol, the access protocol for that router. Usually just leave it to HTTP. Now for those that are using those of PoE, sometimes some routers might require HTTPS. So if HTTP fails to work, you just close the tunnel and try using HTTPS, and then you say open tunnel. Okay, once it's done, just copy the link, open it in a different browser page to access your router, and there you go. You have access to your router. You can do maintenance, you can change the SSID, or you can even give free internet on this router depending on your network layout. Okay, so once you are done with your diagnosis and configuration, close that tunnel, and there you go. That is it for the basic network mapping features. Thank you. This has been Karim from Tickman.